several counties have started issuing mandatory and voluntary evacuation orders as Beryl edges closer to the Texas coast. Doug Shupe with AAA Texas shares important tips for travelers planning to drive or fly to safety. Good morning, Doug. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Now, for any families that are planning on heading out and evacuating, is there anywhere that you recommend they go or how far out they travel to?
Well, it's important that you identify multiple locations that you could evacuate to in case the storm shifts. You know, there's so much uncertainty with these hurricanes, and that's why it's a good idea to have multiple locations in mind that you could escape to. Of course, you want to reserve a hotel room as early as you possibly can because, you know, a lot of hotels along evacuation routes and further inland do get booked up with the storm as it approaches. So you want to book a room as early as you possibly can. Don't forget to pack important documents as well. You know, you want to have things like your birth certificates, your insurance documents, all of that stuff in a portable, waterproof container. Bring that with you. Very important as well. And if you're evacuating, leave as early as you possibly can, because you know that when the evacuations start taking place, the roads tend to get very busy. And so leaving as early as you can is the best bet.
That's so important. And what do you recommend? Do you recommend people drive or fly to evacuate?
Well, of course, with this, you know, if you're deciding that you are going to evacuate voluntarily, or, you know, if you're doing a mandatory evacuation, most people will drive to get to a safer location. And so, you know, traveling by automobile is typically the most economical. It's also the most convenient. You can kind of leave at the last minute when you want to. And so that's why we do see a lot of people who will take a road trip further inland with these types of storms when they approach. But be cautious and remember that tensions may be higher when there are evacuations like this. And so just be patient and be calm as you are making your way to a safer location away from coastal areas.
And what about gassing up? I know every time during a big storm, you always see those long lines at the gas station.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good idea to go ahead and fill your gas tank up. Now, typically, it's not an issue of not enough gasoline. It's just sometimes there are issues when the hurricane hits that deliveries can't be made to the gas station. So there's really not like a shortage issue. It's just a supply issue and being able to get to those areas if there is a power outage or something like that. So it is a good idea to go ahead and fill up your gas tank. Should you become in an area that's under a mandatory evacuation and you need to leave, you'll have that full tank of gas to get to a safer location.
All right. And are there any common mistakes that people make that you would recommend that they avoid for this storm?
Well, you know, when it comes to any kind of big storm with a lot of water, the mistakes that we see people make a lot of times is driving through roads that are covered with water. And that's the biggest takeaway from everything is just turn around, don't drown. We say it all the time, but you still see people that will try to drive through flooded roadways, and it is so dangerous. You don't know what the condition is of the roadway beneath that water, and that's why it's always best to find another way around. And the other thing is too many people are going too fast for the conditions. They're speeding on wet roads, and that's why we see so many crashes when we have rainstorms. So please just slow down when the rains start to come. It's very important for your safety and for the safety of others on the roadway.
All right, this is wonderful information. Thank you so much, Doug, for joining us this morning.
Anytime. Thank you.